Hello, good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Reality's a Moment with Susie. We've had a little break and now we're back. Now, I hope everyone's had a good time. Here in the UK, we're getting to the end of summer. Really sad, but I guess we had a nice one. We need to deal with it. But guys, I got a very interesting topic for you tonight. It's a topic that I think is quite close to my heart at the moment because I've seen so many things happening and going on around me, and I think, why? But you know what? Tonight we are going to be discussing cyberbullying and adults. And joining me for this conversation, I have my lovely Toxie Balo. Toxie Balo, hi, and thank you so much for joining me.
Time?
I know, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And my lovely Simi. Simi, hi, and thank
Hi.
you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, you know that. But guys, for tonight's show, we are going to be discussing cyberbullying and adults. And the reason why I say adults is because a lot of the time when we think of bullying, we think of kids. And, you know, we think, okay, bullying, time to talk to the kids, you know, or our child is being bullied, or sometimes they're the bully. Now, I think with the explosion of social media, it's come to light, or it's very evident, we can see it, you know, all the time on Twitter, Facebook, adults taking that role of bullies, you know, behaving in a way that sometimes you never expect them to behave in. Now, what made me think of this topic for this week was I've seen quite a few things that I'm thinking, they're quite disturbing, you know, and these are the type of things I would say to my kids, please don't do this. And to see adults, and when I say adults, I'm talking about 50s, 40s, 30s. I'm not talking about like 20s and all that. And guys, why do you think that responsible, because some of the people I have seen have been known as responsible adults, take on that role as a bully when they go on social media? Now, what I'm going to do, just before we go into discussion, I'm going to remind our viewers out there that this is a live show. The phone number will be scrolled at the bottom of the screen, and if you feel like ringing in, taking part in the conversation, if you've had an experience of being bullied online, or you know someone that's doing it, or you have some thoughts about it, please don't hesitate to give us a ring. Thanks. Toke, shall I start with you? Because they say ladies first usually, but I'm going to say gents first. What do you think about cyberbullying? Have you come across it? Have you seen it?
First of all, let's try to see what bullying means.
Okay, yeah.
Bullying is anything that makes you cry, anything that that creates fears in you, that another person is doing unto you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean whether you are big or small. It's something that makes you uncomfortable, and it might affect you to start doing what normally you wouldn't have done, like drinking, hiding. So, but when we are now going to cyber,
Yeah.
cyber bullying is in the space. You know, it's something that has to do with you have no control from the other side.
Yeah.
You can't even go and arrest the person if you can. I don't
Well, no, sometimes you can nowadays.
No, what I mean is immediate.
Yeah.
It comes in, cyberbullying is technology, electronic technology, which comes in terms of websites, email, people posting, you know, especially with this social media and all of that. So we have actually little control. And if somebody is going to bully you, through that, other people will have seen it, which makes it more, you know, terrible.
Distressing,
because maybe your mom could see it, your son could see it. It's so embarrassing, and it brings something into your life unexpected. You know, it's kind of. So it's really terrible. But I think it's the thing is, you know, 20 years ago we don't have anything like that, because so bullying is hidden. It's not out there. People can control it. They can go and talk about it. Why are you doing this? Arrest and all of that. But today it's out in the air. You can't hide it. Somebody take your picture and put it on Facebook. what are you going to do?
You can't.
Everybody is seeing it already. But I think as time goes on, you know, there's going to be a way around it.
Yeah.
Because we have governments and
Yeah.
we have bodies who are using various approaches. What do you think?
Cyberbullying for me is like an extension of the playground bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like children being in a playground and saying something about a person that they then become isolated from everybody else, or
Yeah.
everybody looks at that person and wants to know more about that person's individual life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cyberbullying for me is like an extension of that, you know, where somebody decides that they want as many people as possible to know what they're saying about that person,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's derogatory, it's about somebody's personal life, you know, it's about someone's personal information. But the thing that saddens me most about this is that we're beyond the playground, and one hopes that once everybody starts to grow up, one understands what bullying does and
Yeah.
how it impacts on people
Yeah.
and the repercussions. And we're constantly saying to children, don't bully a child because it's going to make that child feel this. Don't bully a child, it's going to make them grow up feeling like that. But then here we have adults doing exactly the same thing. I don't see why, if you have a disagreement with somebody, you can't have a clear down, throw down disagreement about it. You know what I mean? What is it that you're putting that person's personal information out there? You and that person at some stage were friends. You shared a lot of information. If you didn't share a lot of information, that person who's bullying wouldn't be able to fling that information out there.
Exactly,
so somewhere, you and that person or you and that group had a good relationship. And even if that relationship's broken down, right, A, there's no reason why that relationship might not be mended in the future.
Along the way, yeah.
And B, why would you go out to out people's personal information and destroy relationships and families? And you know, I don't get it. To be honest, I don't get it. You know, if I'm vexed with you, I'm vexed. I'm going to tell you straight off. I don't need 10,000 other people to know that I'm vexed with you.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for me, cyberbullying is, like we just said, it's done on social media, it's done via email, it's also done via mobile phones, it's done, especially WhatsApp. WhatsApp seems very popular at the moment with all that cyberbullying. And it tends to be, funny enough, it's not just done by people that you know. It's done by people that don't know you, and for some reason they might just dislike you. You know, later on in the show I can give an example of one that I actually experienced myself. And it can be very distressing. I think the people who are behaving like that, I wonder why they do, because I wonder, as adults, if you are a cyberbully, does it make you feel more powerful? Does it make you feel better about yourself? You know, it just becomes why? And the thing is, like you just said, Simi, you see conversations going on, yeah? And these conversations are going on. You see a conversation going on fine, be it on Twitter, be it on Facebook, and then all of a sudden it erupts into a whole load of abuse. And you're thinking, this is a grown adult here. What's going on?
That's the bad part of it, though, isn't it? That's I don't get it. To be honest, I don't get why people feel that they've got to act like that. You know what I mean? You know, why you feel. But then, you know, can I just sorry to cut you, but I just want to pick up on something that Susie said, because one of the things that you were saying is about, you know, it can be about people who you don't know.
Yeah.
And then but that one, I can actually handle that. The worst comes to the worst, I will shut you off. I will blank you. Do you know what I mean? But if that person knows the personal information about somebody else, that's where it makes it more damaging. You know what I mean? Just sending distressing messages to somebody and being totally obnoxious and rude and stuff, well, okay, that is distressing enough. But sending those messages attached with personal information that you know that other people know is true, you know, that is really, really, really devastating. And that's the part that I don't understand. Why would you want to go that far?
I think we just have to do some reality checks, yeah. Like I said, I still belong to that school of thoughts, you know, where people take advantage of what they have. The old school that some of us
Grew up in.
you know, when you have to go to someone's house to go and fight them or see them in the street and fight them.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to really know what is going on. It's only the people around the environment then that could see. You know, don't forget, the new media is too much of an advantage than disadvantage.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah.
People are just taking advantage of what is there. You know,
they don't have to pay for it, it's free.
And sometimes, you know, this bullying thing that we're talking about, on this cyberbullying thing, does not mean like somebody puts in a picture that comes on your wall, naked body and all of that deliberately. Someone would want to tease another person, new, knowing fully well that this is going to go into the person's, you know, or can send you inbox and all of that. So I think like I said, there's still a little control. I mean, a little bit of lack of no control for now, because you can't really stop people from, because except if they're going to close all social media down. Or
well, I agree with you.
There wouldn't be no email to be sent.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
It's just going to, you know, even the kids, you have little control over the kind of games and all their
their interaction that they have on social media.
So I think what I would maybe our hostess tonight would lead us to another level. You know, I don't want to jump the gun, but so far that is what I just see generally, you know, going on about cyberbullying. It's really distressful, like we said, but I think there's a bit of little control over it for now. So it's like you are being forced to watch, for instance, in particular, Facebook. You've been forced to watch so many programs, so many people, you know, naked bodies, whether you like it or not, you just...
I'll tell you what is...
so many
folks, when you talk of naked bodies...
And then maybe some
Simi, why are you laughing?
You know, some presentation of so many, you know, on the websites.
Now, should I tell you, when you talk about naked bodies, I think the most distressing and the most disgusting thing. But before I go there, I need to wonder why. Why are you laughing? Now, for me, wait, can I just say, the one for me was, the one that brought it home for me was a lady, and I think she was going out with a guy in Ireland, and they were in a sexual relationship, and they had shared intimate pictures, some terrible intimate pictures. I don't want to forget about some of the sites I saw. But they fell out for some reason. I don't know what the reason was. And next thing, all these intimate pictures of this woman doing sexual acts on the guy put out there, I think he first put it on YouTube and then he put it on Facebook, and, you know, people share it, or it started on WhatsApp. And then he wrote something, and apparently the guy ended up being a married woman whose husband was in Nigeria. And this just went viral. Because you know what? When you drop a verse from the Bible, or from the Quran, or from the Ifa, the Juju man, or whatever, people don't share it. People hardly like it. Drop a picture of someone caught naked. That picture will have or a video. I've seen a video have 20,000 views in one day.
Yeah, I mean...
and it's just, in a sense, I believe that when we do things like that, we're also aiding and abetting it.
What you mean
and encouraging it.
When
we share it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I accept that and I acknowledge that, but why would somebody want to do that? That's my whole question. The whole thing about adults and cyberbullying, right? What is it that you gain as an adult? As a kid, when you're bullying somebody, you feel some kind of power.
I think they feel that same power.
But
I think we're just seeing the manifestation of what human beings could be up to.
Let me give you an example. I think I was aware of cyberbullying, but did it affect me? I have to be honest here, and I have to say, I saw a few fights going on, and some, I say with a bit of guilt, I found funny. But when I had the personal experience myself, I didn't find it funny. And what had happened to me was I had a post on my page, and It was something, I've forgotten what it was about. It might have been something to do with politics, because politics kind of bubbles a lot of anger in people. And this guy came and said something quite rude to me, and about 3 or 4 people told him off and was like, you know, don't speak to Retty like that. You know, I'm called Retty on Facebook, not Susie. Don't call Retty like that, don't do that. And I thought, you know what, I can't even be doing with this. Let me just block the guy. Let me delete him and block him since he's going to be so rude.
Politics.
So I deleted him, you remember, I deleted him and I blocked him. And, but what I forgot was I've got a second Facebook account and he was on that account. I didn't realize. And then 2 days later, one of my friends called me and said, Susie, have you seen what's happening on your second Facebook account? I was like, well, no, I hardly ever go there. You know, I just opened it and I don't really visit it. She was like, I think you need to go there. So I went there and I opened it and I nearly had a heart attack. This guy had gone and taken my picture, which was a picture of me and Tinubu. And on top of the picture, he had written, this woman, Retty Susie, is a political prostitute. Now, to me, when I read that at first, I read that to be, she jumps from party to party. But some other people that don't know me meant that to be, I was sleeping with different politicians. And next thing, when I read all the comments, all of a sudden I had this barrage of abuse from people who don't know me, who did not know anything about the situation. And it was like, she's a prostitute, nasty woman, disgusting woman, look at her, dirty woman. And I was just like, I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, what is this about? And then me being me, I have to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I sat down and I thought, I'm not having this. I will not be bullied. And I replied them all one by one. There were about 20 comments, 22, and I replied them all one by one. I said, do I even know you? Do you know me? Do you know what the situation is about? You know, I don't think you should get involved in what you done. Got a whole lot of more abuse.
Exactly.
And then, but then, one of my friends actually saw what was going on, and she logged into my account and she started telling people off. But it was the fact that we actually physically saw a grown man, and this man must have been about in his 50s, early or late 50s, and we saw him come on the thread, and I don't know whether he read everything, but next thing, I got a whole load of abuse from him. And, you know, my friend was like, she was on my account. She said, are you okay? She said to the man, are you all right? Are you okay? And then she started throwing abuse at the man, but she started abusing the man in Yoruba, so I couldn't understand everything she was saying. And then at one point, the man now came into my inbox and was like, oh, I am so sorry. Please, could you stop abusing me? I'm sorry. So my friend was like, but why did you come on this thread? And why are you abusing somebody that you don't know? And the man was like, no, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. And then my friend replied, well, maybe what you need to do is all the abuse you've thrown at the page, you need to go to the page and apologize openly rather than coming onto the inbox and apologizing, and yet everybody thinks that you're still throwing the abuse.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, no, sorry, I can't do that. And so, you know, I must admit, we were naughty, and we took screenshots of all his apologies and posted it on the page. Yeah. You know, when I experienced that, I realized what people actually go through and how, you know, how much anger it... And I just wonder that what type of adult, and some of these adults are professionals. Yeah, I've seen personal friends who are professionals, who are in good jobs, who are good role models doing the same thing, and you wonder why.
I think it's just the manifest. Like I said, I'm still going to go back to that.
Yeah.
I'm a big... We're addressing the issue of cyberbullying.
Yeah.
But something is coming out in my vision. You know, the way I see, like, people are just manifesting the animalistic things inside of them.
That's an interesting
because it's just something that people, because most of the time some people will have forgotten that they are actually writing for everybody to see.
Yeah.
So that makes it more unfortunate. And if sometimes on Facebook I will have written and I read and I counsel it.
What, you've been bullying as well?
No, I'm just saying
okay.
something. I'm just trying to talk about how you could be very careless on social media. And it's just like when you're on TV and people are watching you. So it's still the same thing when you are writing through the screens, you know, and everybody is seeing it. At times you want to cast something, you click, you went there, you say, wow, I didn't want to do that. You know, so most of the things that some people do, at times they regret it, but they can't withdraw it back.
No, but Tux, you know what? You were talking about...
No, I'm just using that not as a defense for bullying.
No, you are talking about those that regret it. What about those that keep on throwing... Okay, an example is, like Simi put up before and was like, two friends have a fight. You know, you have a fight. I've seen quite a few occasions whereby two people have had a fight and one of them decides to come on social media and says, oh my God, that person pissed me off. They did this, that to me. And that's how they leave it. And next thing you see a whole load of people coming, don't mind the person, the idiot, the fool. And you're thinking, but you don't even know the story. You've heard half the story. And now that other person is receiving a whole load of abuse from you. Why?
But you see, I think that one is still resolvable to a certain extent. Now, I hesitated because it's still out there. But where somebody actually makes a video or a recording and then starts to spout that person's personal information, and they do it over and over and over again, you know what I mean? So they make a number of different recordings of that, and that person isn't responding, and then you get another one. You know what I mean? And it isn't even about the fact that other people are jumping on it and actually commenting, which would be bad enough. But it is about that constant repetitive thing of constantly trying to wear the other person down because that person is ticked off. You know, why would you want to do that, to try and destroy somebody?
Well, what type of person are you to do that?
Yeah, exactly. What type of person are you to even start that off? Do you know what I mean? What type of person would want to go onto social media and expose somebody else for the information that they have? You know what I mean? What kind of friend were you in the first place?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And what kind of person are you that you're going to gain from that?
Gain pleasure and feel happy.
Look like? What I don't get is that the person that's doing all that stuff, they don't even know what they look like.
I know, that's the sad thing.
I think if you go 101 times, you know, keep saying and repeating what we're saying, those who will continue to do it will continue to do it because they see an opportunity, like I said. No matter what you do, some people, except if there are laws.
Well, there are laws.
And principles that guide people that don't do this, don't do that. If you do this and do that, which is, the laws are coming in from time to time.
I think it's
if you do this and that, if you do that and that, maybe that can stop the bullying. Because some people, no matter what you tell them, they're just exhibiting that kind of a thing in them.
I guess sometimes
it's still the same thing without being on the internet. Person to interpersonal relationships. Some people can be very verbally abusive, and some people will not say much.
But sometimes all that stuff in their head, some people that don't say much in public are ready to write it. And some people are ready to open fake accounts to ruin people's names. So it's like, I'm having a fight with you, but you know what? I'm not winning this fight. But hey, I can go and open a Twitter account, a Facebook account on you and act like you and spill all your dirty linen out there. And it's like, and you're a grown adult with kids, running a home, having a good job.
That's the thing, though.
And because you feel you're hidden, this nasty side of you can come out.
That's the thing, though. We are grown adults, and it's the grown adult part that distresses me the most. Because, you know, one would have hoped that once one starts growing up, and like I said at the very beginning, people understand the impact of bullying. Or do they not understand when they're doing that stuff that it is bullying?
I don't think they care, and I think they want to impact. There are some people that are that horrible that because they are angry with the other person, they don't care. They want to what do you call it? They want to inflict that pain
in
on the person.
public, though.
Because,
it's the in public part that I actually struggle with.
So we've got that horrible.
It's the in public bit. If you and I are having a disagreement, we could tell each other whatever behind closed doors. But I don't see why people have to put it on the social media site for people that don't even know them.
I know.
To hear their
Yeah, but then
business.
sometimes they make them known by dropping the person. I've seen one where they drop somebody's picture. They drop the picture, the husband, the kids, and it's like, hold on, you've just had a personal argument with your friend. You've now fallen out. Do you really need to put that person's photograph, the husband's photo, the innocent children's photo, and you actually feel good about that?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Don't forget, the person that is all out to hurt you will do anything.
Oh, that is true.
So that's just my principle. I mean, we're just analyzing what bullying could, the effects and the cause and all of that. We can't really stop it, except if there are guidance like laws. You know, if you do that, this is going to happen, which is coming up. Like when Facebook started initially, there was little of how you could block people, how you could, you know, every day they open new packages, checking all this. But it's going to continue. You know, I think the best thing to do, because after some time you see that all these things, I mean, the world is changing gradually. It's just bringing in a new thing. You know, what before we don't hear in the public, we hear it today.
Well, we hear everything
They don't make any difference anymore. I remember all this exposure before. You can only see them on page 3. You know, all of those.
Tokes has got something about the naked women.
No, it's not just women. It's not just women.
There's men as well. I haven't seen any men.
Oh, well, maybe because you're a woman. Maybe it didn't come on you. But what I'm saying is that we don't. Everything is in the open now, so it's just. To me, I think everybody should try to learn how to have thick skin to some extent.
I think people need to. I don't think I need to develop a thick skin. I need to. I need to be careful. I need to be careful how I put my business out there.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, we just said it now that it's not just what you put out there.
It's what you share with other people.
You don't even know can put something of, you know.
Yeah, that's very true.
So what do you do? What do you want to, like, what happened the other time? You went out and started talking. You abusing them back and all of that. Well, that's all you could do.
Yeah.
But that cannot stop what you're doing. But what do you think?
Well, I think that if you say that people have to develop a thick skin, then you're saying it's okay. That
they can't keep it.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I have said it. We have analyzed it before that the only way you could have control can come from Facebook family. No,
but I'm not even talking about the control.
So how do you?
I'm not talking about the control.
So what do you do to
people
stop?
having thick skin. I'm talking about the person who's actually doing the bullying.
The perpetrators need to stop.
So what do you do to him or her?
I don't want to do anything to them. I want them to understand, A, what is it they think they're going to gain from it, and B, why are they doing it, and see the impact, the damage that it's going to do. Because, okay, you're ticked with that person at this point in time. You might not be ticked with them in 5 years' time. You might not be ticked with them in 6 years' time. It is the consideration of what it is that you're doing that's going to come back and bite you, person who's actually doing it in the backside.
Why I'm saying that is that let's leave cyberbullying for a minute. Let's look at if people have interpersonal grudge between themselves. People is still going to be like. If
you might still go and tell somebody else.
If there's no cyber today, people will still have
a way of.
You understand?
Yeah, but I would just, you know what?
I'm just trying to open it up.
No, I get you. And people did that in the past, didn't it? Like, if somebody had a disagreement, you would go and tell friends. But it would still be contained.
That was the way it was dealt with years ago. But now we are in the cyber world. So we have to stick to the cyber part of it because that is what is happening. People are just taking
advantage of that.
You know, okay, so me as a person now, I don't know which of my friends I'm going to fall out. You don't know which of your friends you are going to fall out with. You don't know which of your friends you're going to fall out with. So that means that the reality of my life, your life, our life is that anything that is private and personal and we don't want out there, we don't share because we don't know what can happen.
So therefore we can't trust anyone.
So now we can't trust anyone.
What about those who have the knowledge of it? from way back.
Well, there's nothing you can do about those that already have the knowledge, is it? You just have to hope that they are people that have their head screwed on the right way.
What about if they don't get, you know, it depends.
Then we'll have to suffer the consequences of their information.
Do you know what? And also, I think a lot of people do some things and they don't realise that these people can't actually get away with it, especially if you are within the same country. If you live in the same country, you can report them to the police. They will, I think I had one friend who had somebody who was sprouting abuse about her on social media. I just, you know, come off it. This particular woman, I'm not mentioning any names, has grown up kids. You know, how can you have a son of 23 years old and you are going to now come on social media and start abusing another woman and encouraging other people to abuse that woman? You know, and what pleasure would you say you get out of that?
That's the question.
She reported that woman to the police. Once that woman got reported, ended, because she was warned that she would be persecuted if she continued.
Yeah, that's...
You know, and I think a lot of people don't know that they have this power, because fair enough, yeah, you might have information on me that I don't want to get out there, because the reality of life is that every human being has a skeleton in their cupboard.
Exactly.
Now, to me, anyone that walks around and goes, I ain't got no skeletons, they haven't
They
laughed.
got more. They got more.
They've got too many. I've got my
Everybody's
skeletons
got
in my
skeletons,
cupboard that I don't want to cover. I've got secrets about myself that I don't want people passing around. You know, I'm human.
Unfortunately, you know, we all live in the world of, you know, in the yesteryears is the press.
I mean, I ain't stolen nothing and I ain't killed no one.
What I'm saying is the press. People are scared of the press before. We all live in the world of open
Where everybody's
press.
oppressed now.
Everybody is a celebrity today. So we are going to get...
I want to get there.
I'm coming. We will all, one day, you know, we all get used to this. And it's going to be meaninless
No, but I
at some point.
disagree with you, Tokes.
Yeah,
get
so
used
do
to
I.
what?
I would not get used
why
to
should
it.
We are just
anybody...
being, you know,
Tokes, why would anybody
Susie,
have to get used to cyberbullying?
Let me finish. No, I'm not saying something you can't have a control over. How do you handle it?
Babes,
So then you say it's okay.
you don't get used to something just because you don't have control over it.
No, you see, you are not getting my point.
Okay.
If you have access to electronic media
Yeah.
that you could use to broadcast,
Yeah.
then you have some power with you. And you could do whatever you want to do with it. No licensing, nothing.
Depending on where you do it and who you do it to.
Well, I'm coming. Even if you're going to be prosecuted later, you have the machine with you.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
when you have control of machines, criminals, they have control of machines or equipment or whatever they do at that time.
Let's call bullies criminals. Yeah.
I'm just using
No, I
that.
think that's,
okay.
that's true. Though.
Okay.
We should call them
so
criminals.
if you have that, maybe there are some laws, you know, trademark laws or whatever, somewhere that can handle you later. But as of now, you are doing what you can do because you have the power of possibilities. So, what could anybody do to you at that moment? The only thing that would come up later is law, taking you and prosecute you, or people can come and fight you or something. But you know the damage is done. So when I say that thick-skinned does not mean I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that people need to have a sense of courage to know that, oh, wait a minute, I don't have a control. I didn't tell him to go and do that. What can I do?
But still, it depends
So it's not about supporting it.
It depends how
Nobody wants to
awful
support
it is.
I think what people need to understand, I think perpetrators need to understand is one day the hunter
Will be
become the
hunted.
hunted.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know,
Obviously, they don't.
So check it before you start. You know, before you start peeing over somebody's wall, they're gonna start peeing over yours one day.
You will discover that those who do that, they don't care.
Well, I think some of
Most of
them
the
do
time.
care. Let me tell you something. Some of them do care. But because it hasn't been done to them,
fair
at
enough.
that point of time, they feel quite powerful and they
Yes.
feel quite big.
Yeah.
And then they do it, forgetting that they've got their own little box in the corner that, you know, shouldn't be exposed to the world.
If anybody...
So no, they do, to me, they do know. You know, but I think that sometimes some human beings make the wrong assumption. They make that assumption that having negative information on their friends is powerful. It makes them powerful. And the reason why I say that is I remember having another conversation with somebody, and she was friends with a blogger. And a statement was made, and they fell out over that statement. And next thing, she actually showed me the text message that this male blogger sent her, and saying, listen, you know who I am, and you know what I am? I am a blogger. If you don't keep your mouth shut, I will go out there and I will ruin you. And I looked at her and I said to her, this is disgusting, because I actually know the person. And I was like, why don't you just report it to the police? And she was like, oh no, you know, she can't be bothered and she doesn't know what he's going to do next.
But he's won.
Yeah, and I feel, why are you giving him so much power?
Yeah,
it just does not make sense.
And you know what? Call my bluff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm the kind of person
exactly.
that if it's going to kill me,
yeah,
I say go and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once you've given him one...
No, he actually said that he was going to make up lies. That's it. I read it and he's like, I can make up lies about you and I can finish you. And I looked at her and I said to her, do you know something? And she said, what? I said, you actually have the power. Exactly. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, he sent you that text message. His name is on it. Hello? If that was me, I'd screenshot it and post it, and then people will see the type of person he is. Exactly. And that way, you have turned the tables back on him. Because sometimes
the hunter becomes the hunter.
That's it.
So the point is, you see, you are coming back to where I was about this thick skin thing. It's not thick skin that rub it on your body kind of a thing, but it's something that you have to design some ways how to tackle. You know, when you have
to tackle them.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we all have disadvantages of, because it could happen to anybody.
Yes, definitely.
You know, your best friend can even use third party or use fictitious means.
It is disgusting what
if they don't like you for some reason. Yeah. Just do that. So what do you do? Somebody that you hit, you and I, if I go around your back and do one or two things, maybe you don't even know me properly, and I'm doing some strange things, and you didn't even know I was the one doing it. So it happens. You know, I think, and we have limited control now, to be honest.
We do, and that is the scary control thing.
That is thing.
Yeah.
Before, look, why do you think the government persecute press and say, why must you do that? Why must you do that? Because it was then, but today, everything is in the open. It's so
open, isn't it?
There are power, individual power everywhere. So we have to, I think the government has a lot to do, you know.
I think the world government has a lot to do.
Well, yeah, that's what, because...
It's not helpful if the person lives in a different country.
No, I'm talking about generally.
Yeah, no, but it's very hard. That is going to ever be hard to police, you know, because...
There's international laws.
Yeah, but then it becomes a minor one when you've got all the drug dealers out there and all the thieves doing international crime, isn't it? Yeah. Someone talking about you.
I do believe that bullies thrive and they, you know, the flame is fanned by people's fear.
Yeah, you're right.
Of being exposed. You know what I mean? And as painful as it is, you know, the person who's being bullied, your information's out there already. You haven't got really much to lose, actually. So you might...
No, you've lost everything already.
Exactly. So you might as well just go head to head with that person. And I'm not saying, oh,
you say go out.
No, I'm not saying, like, go and, like, expose that person for them, blah, blah, blah. But there has to be a way that you have to show that you're the better person. So you know what? Expose my stuff. You know, it's going to be tomorrow's newspaper tomorrow. The next
fish
day,
and chip wrap,
next day it'll be fish and chip wrap. The next day it'll be in the bottom of an alley somewhere. People will find something else to talk about. Do you know what I mean? But the person who's bullied has to be strong enough to be able to stand up and say that.
It depends on the type of information. It depends on the type of information that is put out there. Now you think of that woman in Ireland. I'm sure you saw it. That thing went viral.
Yeah.
And she was strong enough, luckily for her, to come out and actually talk about it. Because I think I saw an interview that they'd done with her. But there are some people out there, they could commit suicide.
No, and I
could wreck their life.
Agree.
What pleasure do you get in that? What have you actually gained? You wanted to disgrace someone. They go and commit suicide. You've disgraced their whole family. what pleasure do you
But
get
that was my
from
question at the
that?
very beginning, wasn't it? It was, what's the bully going to derive from it? But I was talking about the person who's being bullied and their survival.
No,
Do you know
yeah,
what I
I'm
mean?
talking
Just
about
turning it
now.
around.
I'm talking about now the bully.
The person who wants to bully you wants to hurt you.
Oh, definitely.
So there's no positivity about a bully.
Nothing
No,
positive.
there's nothing
no.
positive.
So now,
I think also there's an importance for people to recognize when they are bullying. Because I think sometimes some people don't recognize what they're doing. They think, oh, this person done this to me, I'm getting them back.
I'm getting them back.
But they don't actually realize what they are doing, the behavior that they're actually executing. They don't realize that they're being a bully. Because they're getting so much pleasure, because sometimes they are angry as well, they don't realize the impact of what they're actually doing. So it's like, you know, to me, anyone that is out there, if you're angry with your friend, you know, with someone in your family, whoever, even if it's somebody that you don't know, and you have secrets about them, and you decide to go out, do a video, expose their negative stuff that you know that they don't want out there, that you know is gonna inflict pain, you're no better than the person. You're not better than the person that you have exposed. Actually, you're worse than them.
Exactly.
Because whatever happened between you and that person, it happened between you and your circle of friends. For you to now throw it out worldwide, forgetting about the impact that it has on other people linked with that person, that's disgusting.
And that person's future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't, you know, when somebody's doing that, you don't know the impact it's going to have on someone's future.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years later, that might be something someone pulls up for an interview. You know, you just don't know where that information is going to land. And that's the stupid
And
part of it.
sometimes you don't know how it's going to impact on you who has delivered it.
Exactly.
Because sometimes being a
20 years
bully,
later, it still might be pulled
you're
up
not
for an
free of it.
interview.
No, but that is, you know, because I've seen some people write some stuff that you would say is actual bullying, and people turn on that person. And so they didn't expect it. They thought, oh, I'll put all this stuff out there about this person.
And have a laugh.
And then have a laugh and be horrible to the person. And then you see people coming on the thread saying, are you actually okay? Why would you do this? And then 2 days later, they delete it. But you've forgotten that you already put it out there for thousands of people. People can share it. You know, people forget how people share things. You can share it, one, if they're your friend. They can share it by just clicking the share button. They can take screenshots and pass it around. And once they take a screenshot, pass it around, it's out of your control. So I also feel for the people being bullied. What should people being bullied do? Because I have no sympathy for the bullies, I'm sorry.
What should they do?
Yeah, what should they actually do?
I think it's a hard one, really, because that information that's being shared, right, is information that person doesn't want out there. So to be able to then have to go to somebody else and say, so-so person did this to me, they have to actually expose that information again.
If there's no proof, you can lie and say it's not true. Well, if there's no proof, why are you going to admit it?
Everybody can say something's not true.
Yeah, anybody can say anything about anyone if they want to be horrible.
Part, no, not the easiest part. I think one of the things would be to try and not respond.
I think that's,
Don't respond, so don't
and also don't talk to anybody about it.
Yeah, don't fan the flame.
I think there's a key point here that we must hold on to. And that is what the bully or over the cyber is trying to achieve. So what he's trying to achieve is what the person being bullied didn't want to be out there.
Yeah.
So that question, how do we address that as a public?
No, how does the victim address it?
Which all of us could be.
Yeah, we could be.
Because the bully is just doing his own thing because he wants to go out there to hurt you. That's the basic principles of bullying.
Yeah.
You want to hurt the person.
Intimidate.
Intimidate. We want everyone to share with us.
Yeah.
So how do we go out? What do you think? I know that for sure. One thing I strongly believe is that there must be bodies, that could be like support to advise.
Well, you have a report button, something like Facebook, Twitter. There are many of these social medias that have buttons where you can report, and they, you know, they will check it and they can remove it. If you know the person personally, to me, if you know the person one-on-one, you know them personally, you need to report it to the police. Because I think a lot of people don't think twice before doing such things, and they don't realize that you could take it to that far, take it that far. If someone bullies you online, you know the person one-on-one, report it to the police. By the time they have the police knocking on their door, they would think twice about doing such thing again. They won't do it again.
But I don't think it has to be one-on-one, because sometimes bullying actually happens online.
And you report all of them that you know. If you know them, report everybody.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's very
Take
difficult.
screenshots.
Yeah.
Take screenshots.
Get as much
record as much evidence as you can. Dates.
Time.
Do you know what? And a trip down the police station. To me, that is how a bully needs to be treated, because when you made to realize that you're actually a criminal, because what you're doing is a criminal act, you will stop. When your kids, because don't forget, we're talking about adults today, grown adults who have adult kids as well, even young ones. When your kids hear that this is what mummy and daddy have been up to, and the rest of your family and your in-laws, you will feel the impact of what you've done.
But also, the person doing the bullying is such a sad person. You know what I mean? They are, I count them as being inadequate.
I see them as being a weak person.
Yeah,
you know
that's
why?
why I said inadequate.
I see them as being...
not being able to communicate effectively.
But also feeling weak in the fight, so they had to take it up a notch, because they felt they were losing. So it's like, okay, what can I do that will have a more serious impact? Because what has already happened, I can't do anything about it, but you know what? So I see them as a weak person trying to act strong.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, validation from strangers is what alleviates them.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, a lot of them don't realize that some of the time these strangers could be laughing at you, because people encourage you, but it doesn't mean they're happy with you.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people just like those kind of
A bit of
They
drama.
like drama.
and
Drama.
in the end, their conclusion might come up against you.
Yeah.
You know, but they've had what you have to say. Judgment time. They start kicking you.
Because it's like a feeding frenzy. When someone puts out a video like that, right, everybody sees it, everybody listens to it, and people fall about laughing as well. The person that's putting it out there doesn't realise how much of a laughing stock they are when they do that, you know. Yeah, they're hurting the person they're trying to hurt, but they are also look very, very silly.
Yeah, but then I see the sad thing is you have things like WhatsApp, and let's say someone drops a video or a voice recording. You know, people need to be careful. Nowadays, I'm very careful how I talk or what I say or what I do, because you never know who's recording that conversation. And, you know, you turn around. I remember the first time it occurred to me that you have to be very careful with what you say was I was watching a program on TV, and this girl said to this other girl, I heard that you said that you would never attend any of my events, and I am a silly person just trying to be who I am not. And the person said, good Lord, I never said such about you. And then the person said, hold on a sec, press the button, and that person was like, so nowadays, I say to everyone, we just have to, as human beings, we just have to be so careful, you know, whatever you're saying, you have to be 100% sure you can stand by it.
We said it a long time, you know, when we started.
Yeah.
Having to control about social media, having to control about new media. Before you have to go and call somebody. I remember when we were growing up, call something like Tony Photos, come and take pictures during birthday party.
And the Tony Photos no more.
Or, you know, you call somebody to come and video. Now people get that and broadcast easily. You have to, before you have to go to television station to give them your takes. Now you get all those things on YouTube and wherever. Now, who knows what is going to happen in 10 years?
God, no, that is scary. Anyway, I'm a good girl. I don't get up to anything.
It's just like, what I think is cyberbullying is ineffective simply because of freedom of broadcast.
Ineffective or effective?
It's effective.
Yeah.
And like I said, we will get used to it. on the long run.
You see, I struggle with that word, get used to.
I'm coming, yeah, you might struggle, but because of my line of thinking, that's why I am not struggling. You know, where we are today, we never expected we're going to be here.
Yeah, that's true.
And I
Very
remember,
true, yeah.
you know, most of the things that we hear in the public today, before you say, now, it can't be. But you see, after the news comes today, another one is coming in the next minute. They start forgetting the one.
That is true, but that experience you go through when it's actually happening can be quite suicidal for some people.
Yeah, but then,
distressful and...
So the government will have its own too. The bodies, social bodies, you know, and advisory bodies here and there. And people should learn to know how to, I don't want, because it seems like both of you are very, you know, you want to hold my neck for saying...
No.
I'm not going to say that. I get used to it. But I'm going to say something like, I think people need to adapt some strength of how to counter that.
Okay, I can accept that. I can accept that way of looking at it.
Yeah, so...
I do think people do need to kind of like, because it is reality, it's out there.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean, yes, people are going to have to start living with it, but I also think that, you know, people that are actually doing it, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves and think, you know, I'm one sad person to sit here, premeditated, man, get my tape and tape myself.
Yeah, because we, well, fortunately, we can have a bit of control with the person being bullied, because the person being bullied, we know the victim. Yeah. But the other side, we hardly know them sometimes.
Well, sometimes we do know.
No, I know we know them, but even when we do know them, they are the one causing the harms, pains. So their one needs to be dealt with by law and all of that. But the other person is being distressed, which can lead to suicide, alcohol, and all of that.
Yeah.
So
isolation,
withdrawal syndromes and stuff. Yeah. So all of those things, I think that's the area that we might begin to see what can we do to support them, so like support group and all of that.
And I suppose if you're saying it like that and thinking about it and thinking about the fact that you're saying this is here to stay, then there needs to be some organisations or support systems created there where people can actually go anonymously and get the kind of support and guidance and I don't know what else, but support and guidance from a certain body, as you would with everything else that goes wrong in one's life, really. You know.
I mean, for me, we're coming to the end of the show, and I would like to say a big, massive thanks to Tokes and Simi. I think, we're able to laugh through it, but I think it's a very important topic because, you know, anything that produces victims is very important.
That is.
Yeah, and I think that there is a very major importance. There's a role that we as people need to play when we see such situations. And I think we as people, you know, if we see someone feeling the need to display somebody else's private business, no matter how bad it is, I think we need to denounce it. I don't think we need to encourage it. I think, you know, let we ourselves act as adults and ignore such things, because I think such people are looking for an audience, and the biggest mistake you can do is give them an audience. You see a post saying, oh, so-so done this to me, or so-so done that to me, or, you know, I need to talk about this person, or
skip
this person.
it.
As an adult, you yourself, you need to just ignore it, skip it. Because I'm telling you, by the time that post is up there for about 4 or 5 hours and nobody has clicked like, or nobody has made a comment, or you've gone there and you've actually made a negative comment, like you've gone there and you've now said, so-and-so, I'm really ashamed of you. I don't expect you to behave in this manner. The person will delete it very quickly and they will realise
that is
what
true.
they've done. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That is it. So I think we as adults, we need to think about how we respond to such things when we see it, and we need to put ourselves in the victim situation, because no one's holy, no one's sacred, nobody does not have skeletons in their cupboard,
and no one's safe,
and no one's safe. You know, so long as you have one secret that you've passed on, it could be you tomorrow. Oh guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have been wonderful and lovely. And I really want to say a big thank you to you for joining me on the Sofa of Realities today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, guys. Viewers, I hope people have, you know, learned something that maybe they didn't think about at one point, because I think even me, there was a time I didn't think about it and I was seeing these things. So let's be mindful of what we're doing, and let's be mindful also of the support we need to give out there to others. With that, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody and to you guys, and good night, and see you next week with another interesting topic. Thank you and good night.